Hey, I'm Destiny. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because my channel is about building our businesses, having multiple side hustles, and also self-care. So if those topics interest you, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. And in today's video, as y'all can see, I got my laptop out. So I want to do a new series with Canva.com where I'm going to be showing y'all how I design the different aspects for my business. So I'm going to break this video up in 4 different parts. The first one is going to be how I do my YouTube thumbnails. The second one is going to be how I make my Instagram flyers, which could be Instagram, Facebook, or whatever flyers. Then the third one is going to be how I create the cute little branding templates for my Instagram. The fourth one is going to be how I create the Instagram highlights. So go ahead and stay tuned. So we're going to go ahead and get part 2 started. So the first thing I do is pull up Google and then I type in Canva. We're going to go ahead and search that and I select the second option. And you'll already notice that I am signed into my account. And I'm going to go ahead and click an ad that I already created so we can go ahead and recreate it. So as you can see, this is what I used previously for a Facebook ad. These are the different elements that I use, and we're going to go ahead to the top right corner and click add a page. And that's going to give us a fresh start, and it's green because I previously had it green on the other screen, but we're going to go ahead and change it white. And one thing you'll notice with my brand is that I typically use a money theme, and I always like to use my same colors, which is my green, my black, and my white. And then I have the same 3 fonts saved on Canva, and you're going to want to do the exact same things for your brand. So every time you come and make a new template, you're always going to have those same elements saved. And since the other flyer was green, I'm going to go ahead and change this background to green. And then we're going to go ahead and add the money background. So you'll go to elements and then you'll type in money. And those are the different options that you have. And I like to use the dollar bills all the time. So we're going to stretch that to make it the full screen. And you'll be able to do that just choosing the arrows in the corner. And then click out of it. And one thing I like to do is I like to go to the transparency. And then you can play and see. So I want the green to show. So you'll play around with it a little bit just to get it to your likings. And there we have it. And then the next thing that I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to go ahead and add my logo. They have a logo section, but both of mine are green. And I previously uploaded something that had my logo in black. So I'm going to look and see all the different uploads that I have to see where my logo is in black. Okay, so I found this one, but it does have all of the Instagram and our icons at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch that. And then at the bottom, you can cut that part out. So I'll just slide it up and then move that directly to the top. And I always like to have my logo at the top of my flyers. No particular reason. I just like the way it looks. And you can do the same for yours. And the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add the picture. And I have my same set of professional pictures that I took. And I'm going to use the cell phone one. And that's because the purpose of this ad was to get people to book not cell phone, but to get people to book consultations with me. So we're going to go right to the background eraser so we can erase everything that's in the background of this photo. And sometimes with this, it's not perfect. Like you're going to notice that when I make it bigger, it's going to show like a little bit of the white in the background, but that really doesn't matter for this one. So we're going to make it as big as possible. There we go. Put it on the corner. And I want to cut off majority of my legs at the bottom so they don't see that. And then I still want to show how the hair drapes on the side.
Yeah, that's about good. And there we have it. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the square at the bottom. Well, it's actually a rectangle, but I'm going to put in a line, and I'll show you how we edit the line. So you'll just pick a straight line, and then you'll go up to the top, and it'll show you the different thickness that you can choose. So line weight, and then you'll make that line as big or as small as possible as you need. We're going to go ahead and take it to the bottom, stretch it right across. And I use this same method for all my flyers because I like to put my website at the bottom. And as you can see, it's round at the end, but once you stretch it all the way to the end, it's going to cut that out. And then just to add some extra design, I add an extra white line just to make it pop a little bit. And this line I'm going to keep thin. I'm going to go ahead and go to white, drop it down, and then drag it all the way across the screen. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to the text section, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and add my website to the bottom. And as you can see at the top, it says the Traveling Hair Boss, and those are the 3 fonts that I typically use for all of my brand items. So we're going to type in www.iamdestinyadams.com, and I'm going to switch that color to green, and then we're going to drop it down to the bottom, and I'm going to play with the size of it. So we're going to make it a little bit bigger. And then I typically like to keep adjusting it, and you'll see the line that goes across the bottom, like in the middle of it, and that's going to show that it's centered. And now I'm going to go ahead and go to the spacing and stretch that I Am Destiny Adams across the entire bottom. Play with it a little more to get it adjusted. And now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to elements. And since I am a YouTuber, I like to put the YouTuber icons on the side. So I'll just typically go and choose one to make sure I can change the color. Let's try this one. Okay, so it is showing up black. So we're going to go ahead and add that to both the left and right corners. So we're going to play with it a little bit to make sure we get it the right size and to make sure we get it centered. One thing I love about Canva, it does add the line so it can show how centered you are on the middle subject. And on this one, of course, the middle subject will be my name, the Destiny Adams logo. And then once we get a good one, we're going to go ahead and go over to the right hand side, and we're going to just duplicate that one. So I'm still playing around with it a little bit. I think that looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the right, duplicate that, and then drag that over. And do the same thing, get it centered. You see the line showing up, and we're good to go. Now I'm going to go over and start adding the content on the flyer. So I'll go to the text, and this one specifically said need assistance. I'm going to change the font just to give it a little extra pop. And the thing with this flyer is I want need assistance to be as big as possible on here so it can grab my customer's attention. So there we have it. And then I'm going to make it all caps. And change the color to white. Let's center it first. That's big enough. Now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to change the font and then add assistance. Make that white as well. And then play with the size. And I do this just to see, and I do this just to make sure it looks great on the flyer. So we're going to keep adjusting it. And I also noticed that I think the words are a little too spaced apart. So I'm going to go ahead and readjust the line spacing on it, or the letter spacing. Make it a little bit more closer together, and then we're going to make it a little bigger. And you'll keep adjusting this until you find what works for your brand. So the next thing, I'm going to add the black line, and we're going to add that line the same way we did the other line. But this line is going to be a little bit different because we're going to actually put it behind the picture. So we're going to get the right weight of it, stretch it across, make sure it's lined up, and we'll see that at 0 degrees. Go all the way across. And then we're going to go up to position and do backwards. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and add the text. And we're going to add get one-on-one help with. And we're going to change that text to white so we can see it as we edit it. And you'll do this one the same way you did the bottom one. We're going to put the writing in, and then we're going to adjust the size. Go ahead and center it. You'll see the lines showing up again. So that's about as big as I want it to be. And once we get that as big as we want it to be, I'm going to go ahead and readjust the line weight in the background just so it can be closer to the size of the text. And I'll show you exactly what I mean. Sometimes you have to play around just to get the black box that you want. Okay, so now we're going to readjust. As you can see, it's getting smaller. And then I'm going to go back to the text and add the different options that I have that I'm going to be offering one-on-one help with. And we're going to make this white just to make, because it just looks good. No particular reason. And of course, these are all the things that I offer with my business. And if you're interested in any of these, I'll drop it in the comment section below if you want to book for it. Now we're going to slide that up, readjust the line height. Oh, first the color. Back to spacing. And sometimes you'll notice if you don't highlight it all, it'll only adjust the spacing on some of the words, well, on some of the lines. So then you'll just go back, highlight it all, and then redo it. Choose whichever one looks best with your flyer. Then readjust it. And there you have it. And another thing that I'm going to show you guys is how to do the animation on them. But first, I'm going to just play with the background a little bit. Make sure the green looks perfect so our flyer can pop as much as possible for when we post it on our Instagram or when we run it as an ad. I think I like that one. Just readjust a little bit more. And this is all done from the desktop version. You can do it on the mobile app, but I typically don't like to do it on the mobile app because I like all the options that the desktop has. So now we're going to play with the animations on it. As you can see, it's a bunch of different combinations. And it's all pretty much how you want your flyer to look. I typically don't use the animation option. When I upload mine, I just do the regular PNG. Now we're going to go ahead and go to save, which is download. If you want the animations, you'll download as a MP4 video, but if not, you'll just do the PNG like I'm doing now. Then I'm just going to do the second page. Done, and we're going to download. And this is our finished project.
But thank you so much for watching these videos. And if you watched the whole series, let me know which one you like the best. Or if you're on the first one, second one, third one, or fourth one, let me know if I can make any improvements, any other ones you want to see to this series, any other type of videos with Canva you want to see to these series. I dropped my Canva link below for if you want to sign up for Canva. So yeah, make sure you follow me on all my social media channels. So I'm on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Clubhouse. I'm Destiny Adams across all platforms. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for the next video.